Okay, so with the 4th of July coming up, I decided to do a little bit of a patriotic themed fly. We're going to do a crease fly. In the vise, I've got a long shank #2 stainless steel Mustad hook. I'll give you the reference number in the bio. I'm going to go ahead and just start a quick thread base. In this, I'm just using heavy red thread. You can use color of your choice, it doesn't matter. In this case, I'm using red. I do recommend you use a heavy thread when you're doing this one. Just go ahead and set the thread base, and you'll see why here in just a second. Let me find my scissors. Go ahead here and trim the tag end off. Okay. Now I'm going to start with white bucktail. You can use craft fur, or you can use Flashaboo, or you can use any number of things, but you do want this. So I'm going to get a relatively decent clumps, not too much on white. Go ahead and cut that off. You can see I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and start laying. Let me get rid of those little straggle hairs there. I'm going to go ahead and start working up here, tapering this in. You'll see we're going to do some more here in a minute. This is just getting it started. Okay, again, there you go, there's the white. Next I'm going to use red, white, and blue. Told you it was going to be a patriotic little themed fly here. Give me some red. Go ahead and cut that. Well, I got a lot of little straggling hairs here, so I'm going to lay that on top of the white. And again, I'm just going to start slowly securing this up, building up a thick underbody, and you'll see why here in just a second. If you've already done crease flies, this is just a rather simple version of it. This is nothing fancy. Guys that coat them with mylar and all like that, that's fine, you can do that. This is just a relatively simple and easy way to make a crease fly. Next I'm going to get some blue. See if I can get me some of the longer, straighter, get about the same size clump as I did with the red and the white. We'll go ahead and get that. There you go. Got the blue. Lay this blue in on top here. Pretty simple. Oh, there you go. Go ahead and just get this secured in there. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I get a good solid thread wrap on all of this hair clump in here so it'll hold in. You can glue it in if you choose to. Some people do. I've seen that done. It's not a big deal. Alright, at this point we're done with our thread. Come up here to the top. Just a couple quick half hitches, or you can use whip finish if you choose, just a couple of those. Go ahead and cut my thread. We're done with the thread. Next, I'm going to take a small piece of foam, and I have one laying around here. I sure as heck did, and I don't know what happened to it. In this case, I'm using a scrap piece of foam that I'd used for a popping bug I tied earlier. I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and I'll show you why here in just a second. A little bit of tapered. That's probably a little thick. Let me trim it just a little bit more. There you go. Still a little thick. Trim off this backside here. That's fine. I do have a little bit of a taper to it. That's fine. You'll see why here in a minute. Now, I'm going to use super glue. Yes, I use super glue. I recommend the gel because it does tend to stay where you put it. I'll put a little bead of super glue right there in the middle. And then I'm going to take this piece of foam with the tapered end, and I'm going to sit it right on top. Just like that. This is not a necessary step. Some people do this. Some people get a little more creative with that. Doesn't seem to matter much. I made a template out of a piece of cardboard. This template, you want it to be slightly longer than the thread wraps. About the length of the hook shank. Go ahead and cut that, and then when I do that, it's called a crease fly because you fold it. I'm going to go ahead and fold that foam over like that, check the size, and you can see I've tapered the ends, and then I taper the end a little bit. I use that to cut out a piece of foam. Okay, so this is my foam template. At this point, I'm going to rotate my vise. No, I do not have the fancy rotary vices, but I've had this vise since I was in high school, so we're kind of attached. I'm going to lay a little bit of a thread, a little bead of super glue right down here, down the side of the fly. And I'm going to take the foam here, and I'm going to attach it, lining the front edge of my foam up with the front edge of the fly. I'll let that sit like so for just a second. Alright, I'm going to rotate it over. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Roll another little line of super glue, put some here on that little extra foam piece. The reason I put that extra piece of foam in there is to kind of give it some body so it doesn't crush. I'm going to roll this over. This is where you get the name Crease Fly. I'm just going to crease it down. Okay. Hold it for a few seconds. Rotate it upside down, make sure that it has actually sealed all the way in the bottom. Got a little bit of a gap in here, so I'm going to come in here, add just another little drop of super glue right in there, and just squeeze it. Now, if you're like me, you can't do this without getting super glue on your fingers. Okay, I will get super glue on my fingers anytime I mess with this stuff. That's fine. Okay, once it's dry, there's your basic fly. I use white because I don't always know what color the end fly is going to turn out to be. But then I take Sharpies. You can take other markers if you want, but I'll take a Sharpie marker. I'm going to come down the back spine here. Just kind of color this dark blue. Okay. Come down. You don't want to color too far down. I'm basically doing the top of the fly here in blue. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate this, taking a lighter blue, and I'm going to run just a little bit of a lighter blue next to the dark blue section. Okay. I don't want to go too far down, but just do that. You can be as artistic as you want or not as artistic as you want. This is where a lot of people actually take and put the mylar or the fancy coatings on it, and that's fine if you choose to do that. This is, again, I said it was a simple, easy tie for Crease Fly. Okay. Now I'm going to take black. I'm just going to run a small little line right down the side. A little small black line. Okay. Turn it over and do it on the other side. Small little black line right there on the edge of that blue. Again, you can see my kindergarten art with that. Again, I apologize to anybody that thought I was a professional fly tyer. I'm going to take and I'm going to color the front of this red. Okay. Kind of color on the inside a little bit in there red. Now you can see we have the basic shape of the fly. Now you can use resins. There are certain kinds of UV resins for salt water and what all like that, but again, I said this was an easy one. So this is a LA Color Craze nail polish, number 543 if you care. I bought it at Walmart for $1.99. So now I'm going to take this nail polish and I'm going to just paint a quick layer of nail polish over the foam. It's got glitter in it. It makes it kind of sparkle. Turn it over here on its side. Okay. Go ahead. Getting a little buzz from the fumes from the nail polish. The nail polish does sometimes make the markers run a little bit, so you might want to test yours before you do it so that you don't smear your colors. Okay. Turn it over. Same thing. Paint this side here with a nice layer of this glitter nail polish. Okay. Now while we're letting that first coat dry, I'm going to come in here and I have some Mirage eyes. These happen to be, I think these are 1/4 green Mirage eyes. I'm going to take one of the Mirage eyes off, stick it on my bike, and I'm going to go the first side that I did because it should be a little more dry. And I'm going to add just a quick drop of super glue about where I want the eye, just a little drop of super glue. Because remember, we're making these for predatory fish. You can make this down as small as a size 6 for freshwater. I've seen these tied on 2 and 3/0 hooks for saltwater. Okay, so I'm going to get that eye there. I'm going to let it sit and dry. I'm going to rotate to the other side. Again, approximate position, kind of eyeballing where the other one went. I'm going to make a little drop right there, real quick. Grab me another eye. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. And I'm going to take a quick look. They're about even, pretty good. Some people I know actually press these into the foam. If you want, you can do that. Alright, now come back and add another layer of nail polish. Just another quick layer of this nail polish. I'll even paint over the eyes, kind of help give them some little bit of a glitter and a shine. Go ahead and paint, like I said, cover this. Get the front of it a little bit in there. Turn it over, get the top again. The second coat actually helps make it a little more glossy. The first one kind of soaks into the foam a little bit. That's fine. The second coat just kind of adds, makes it a little more glossy, a little more flash. And again, like I said, you can make these on larger hooks. I've seen them tied on up to 3/0 and 4/0 for saltwater. This is a number 2. This one here will probably be used locally here on the waters here for largemouth bass. You can fish these for pike. You can fish them for anything that's going to hit any kind of a surface lure. And there you go. But you let the nail polish dry. That is a simple red, white, and blue crease fly.